Hands off, no lips, no arms around, she insisted. Wallet closed, no utilities, no shopping, I responded. Let me ask you a question. In your relationship, who has the power? We thought we were equals until she drew a line in the sand. She said, you don't get this anymore, pointing to herself. And in that moment I realized my role. I said, fine, then you don't get this, and I put my wallet on the table. She locked down intimacy, I embargoed our lifestyle. You think it's just a threat. You are about to see just how far too proud, stubborn people are willing to go.
Hey, store lover. Welcome to the Narrative Hub, Reddit Stories. Believe me, this adventure gets wild, but it's only epic with you. Seriously, you make this possible. Want more stories? Greater adventure? Smash subscribe right now. Smash like. Comment below. Let's go.
Before the line was drawn, before the wallet hit the table, there were Saturdays. There were lazy mornings with tangled sheets and the smell of coffee, her head tucked perfectly into the crook of my shoulder. Jennifer Smith. She was brilliant, a whirlwind of passion and creativity. Our life wasn't just good, it was curated. A high-rise apartment with a view that cost more than my first car, dinners at places where the menus didn't have prices, spontaneous weekend trips booked on a whim. And I provided it, gladly. My role, as I saw it, was to build the kingdom, to work the brutal hours, to close the impossible deals so she could have a life free of the worries I carried. It was my way of loving her, a language spoken in security, in stability, in the soft hum of a well-run home. But I was about to learn that we were speaking two entirely different languages, and the silence between us had grown into a chasm. The flashpoint wasn't some catastrophic event. It was smaller, quieter, and 1,000 times more lethal. It was a Tuesday, her first major gallery showing. For months she had poured her soul onto canvases, wrestling with color and form. This was her moment, and I had promised, sworn I'd be there. But a deal in another city, a billion-dollar negotiation, went into overtime. I was on a conference call, packing a sterile hotel room when she called. I saw her name on the screen and swiped to decline, texting a quick, "So sorry babe, killing it for us, we'll celebrate when I'm home." I landed the next day, triumphant, holding a ridiculously expensive bracelet in a velvet box as a peace offering. I walked in the door expecting tension, maybe a cold shoulder. I did not expect the Arctic wasteland that greeted me. Jennifer was standing in the living room, her posture ramrod straight. She didn't even look at the box in my hand. "Don't," she said, her voice dangerously calm. "Don't you dare try and buy your way out of this one." "Jen, I'm sorry, you know I had to be there." "Yes," she said, her eyes finally meeting mine, and they were glacial. "You always have to be somewhere else. You build this beautiful cage, James, and then you forget to come inside it." The fight spiraled from there, a tornado of every missed dinner, every late night, every time my phone had taken precedence over her. It ended with her standing by the bedroom door, her face a mask of resolute exhaustion. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered. It was the whisper that shattered me. "I need you here, not your money, not your gifts, you, and until I have that, you don't get me." She took a breath, and then she delivered the final blow, the one that would ignite the war. "So here are the new rules. You can sleep in this bed, but there are no lips, no arms around me, no intimacy at all, hands off." My mind went blank with a hot, white rage. All the 16-hour days, the relentless pressure, the sacrifices I made, all of it felt like it had been dismissed as irrelevant. She was weaponizing affection, treating it like a commodity she could withhold. In that moment, something inside me snapped. I walked over to the marble countertop, pulled my wallet from my pocket, and slapped it down. The sound echoed in the sudden silence. "Fine," I said, my voice as cold as hers. "I accept your terms, let's make it a full roommate arrangement." I leaned in, making sure she could see the complete absence of emotion on my face. "No lights, no groceries, no access to my wallet, the bank is closed." She stared at me, her eyes widening in disbelief. But she didn't back down. Neither did I. We were two generals on a battlefield of our own making, and the first shot had just been fired. What I didn't know then was that we weren't just fighting each other. Jennifer was fighting a battle I couldn't see, and our home was about to become collateral damage. The first 24 hours were a masterclass in psychological warfare. We moved through the apartment like ghosts, the silence so thick you could feel it pressing on your skin. I woke up first, the space between us and the king-sized bed feeling like a desolate no-man's land. I made coffee for one, drank it standing up. When I left for work, I took the spare key to her car off my key ring and left it on the counter. A small, petty declaration of independence. The first test came at lunchtime. I got a notification on my phone, credit card declined, merchant Lux Cafe, amount $28.50. A cold smile touched my lips, the embargo had begun. I came home that evening to an apartment that felt different. It was darker, cooler. Jennifer was in the kitchen, but she wasn't cooking. She was just standing there, staring at a piece of paper on the fridge. As I got closer, I saw the bold red letters, "Final Notice," the electricity bill. "They're shutting it off Friday," she said, not looking at me. "Unfortunate," I replied, my voice devoid of warmth as I loosened my tie. "So you're really going to do this?" she asked, a tremor of fury in her voice. "You're going to let us live in the dark because you're having a tantrum?" "I'm not the one who set the terms, Jennifer. You wanted a roommate. Roommates split the bills. You want the lights on, pay your half." The look she gave me could have frozen fire. She turned and walked away without another word. That night we ate separate meals in silence. I had ordered takeout. She ate a bowl of cereal. We were starving each other, one emotionally, one literally. The next day, the pressure intensified. My best friend Robert Williams called me. "Dude, what is going on? I just got off the phone with Lisa Johnson. She said Jennifer is a wreck. She started it, Rob. She put conditions on our relationship. So you're going to financially suffocate her? James, that's not you, just talk to her." But pride is a powerful poison. I told him to stay out of it. We were both too stubborn, too entrenched in our positions to see a way out. I was convinced that any day now she would crack. She'd come to me, admit this was a mistake, and things would go back to normal. I was wrong. This wasn't about cracking, it was about to explode. The breaking point for me came on Thursday night. I was searching for a folder with some tax documents in our home office, a room she'd mostly taken over as her art studio. I was rummaging through the desk drawer when my fingers brushed against a different kind of envelope tucked underneath a stack of sketchbooks. It wasn't a bill, it was a bank statement. My heart hammered against my ribs. The account wasn't with our bank, and the name on it was just hers, Jennifer Smith. Curiosity, a venomous, creeping thing, got the better of me. I opened it. It wasn't a secret fortune. The balance was only a few $1,000s, but what shocked me were the transactions. A series of small, weekly deposits from a name I didn't recognize, and then there were the withdrawals, regular. Weekly payments sent via wire transfer to an account holder named Kevin Harris, her brother. A cold dread washed over me. Kevin was complicated, the black sheep. We'd helped him get clean a few years back, paid for rehab, got him set up in a new town. Jennifer had sworn he was doing well, but these payments, they felt desperate, secret. I thought this was a battle of wills over a missed gallery opening. Suddenly, it felt like I was investigating a conspiracy. What was she hiding? My mind, starved of affection and fueled by suspicion, raced to the darkest conclusions. Was she planning on leaving? Was this a secret nest egg? Who was this person making deposits? The standoff was no longer about teaching her a lesson. It was about uncovering the truth. I waited until she was in the shower and booted up her laptop. My hands were shaking. I felt like a trespasser, a spy in my own home. Her email was open. My eyes scanned the inbox, my heart pounding with every subject line. And then I saw it. A chain of emails with her brother. I clicked, my breath catching in my throat. The words blurred together. "They broke my window. Jen, I need another 500 by Friday. They know where I work. This is the last time, I swear." And her replies, "Kevin, you promised you were done with this. I'm sending what I can. James can't know. He'll never understand." And the most recent one, sent the night of her gallery showing, just an hour before she called me. "They came to the apartment. They know my name. They said if I don't get them the full 10,000 by the end of the month, they're coming for you." World tilted on its axis. The missed gallery night, the fight, her withdrawal, it all clicked into place with horrifying clarity. Her brother hadn't just relapsed. He was in deep, real trouble with people who made threats. She wasn't punishing me. She was terrified. She was trying to protect me and herself by building a wall so high I couldn't possibly get close enough to get hurt. Her hands-off rule wasn't a strategy. It was a desperate act of self-preservation born from shame and fear. Just then, a loud click echoed through the apartment, followed by an immediate plunging darkness. The power was out. We were plunged into absolute blackness. The hum of the refrigerator died. The digital clocks vanished. The only sound was the faint drip of the faucet and our own breathing, suddenly loud in the oppressive silence. A small beam of light appeared from the hallway. It was Jennifer, holding her phone up like a torch. The light illuminated the panic in her eyes. "James." My voice was thick with a shame so profound it felt like I was choking on it. "I'm in the office." She came in, her flashlight beam dancing across the walls before it landed on me, sitting in the dark, her laptop open in front of me. Her eyes followed the beam down to the screen to the open emails. Her face crumpled. The tough exterior, the icy resolve she'd worn for days, shattered into a million pieces. A choked sob escaped her lips. I stood up and walked towards her, my own phone's flashlight now on, creating a small circle of light in the vast darkness. I stopped in front of her and held up the bank statement. "What is this, Jennifer?" I asked, my voice gentle, all the anger gone, replaced by a deep, aching sadness. "Who are you fighting?" The dam broke, tears streamed down her face, catching the light. "He's in trouble," she wept, the words tumbling out between ragged breaths. "He started gambling again. He owes these awful people so much money. That night, the gallery, he was supposed to be there. It was his 1-year sobriety anniversary, but he called me instead. They'd found him. They were threatening him, threatening us." She sank to the floor, and I went down with her. "I was so scared," she whispered to the floor, "and so ashamed. I didn't want to drag you into it. You already do so much. And when you came home with that bracelet, it felt like you were throwing money at a problem that money created. I didn't know how to ask for help, so I just pushed you away. I thought if you didn't touch me, if you didn't get close, you'd be safe from the mess I was in." I looked at this brilliant, strong woman curled up on the floor in the dark, and I saw her not as an adversary but as a person drowning, too proud to call for help. The whole standoff, this ridiculous Cold War, it was all a symptom of a much deeper disease, our complete and utter failure to communicate. I was so focused on the rules of engagement that I never stopped to ask why the war had started in the first place. I reached out and put my hand on her shoulder. She flinched for a second, then leaned into the touch, a shuddering sigh escaping her. It was the first time we had touched in what felt like a lifetime. "I'm sorry," I whispered into the darkness. "I'm so sorry, Jen. I didn't see you, I just saw the fight." We sat there for a long time on the floor of the dark office, the silence no longer a weapon but a space for healing. The ultimatums were forgotten. The score settling was over. The money didn't matter. Finally, I took her hand. "You're not in this alone anymore," I said, my voice firm with a conviction I hadn't felt in days. I didn't say, "I'll pay it." I said, "How do we fix this?" The word "we" hung in the air between us, a promise. She looked up, her tear-streaked face illuminated by the twin beams of our phones. For the first time in a week, she gave me a small, watery but genuine smile. The power was still out, the bills were still unpaid, and a dangerous situation with her brother was looming. But for the first time in a long, long time, we weren't in the dark. We were sitting in it together, and we had finally found the light.